everybody. Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Disco Elysium, shall we? Well, it is time to investigate these lorry drivers for what they know or don't know about a drug smuggling ring.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
I like this guy. He's like, oh yeah. Talking to a cop, he's just like, yeah, me and drugs. Oh yeah.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Yeah, credible lead.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Oh boy.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
That's all for now. Alright, so he had no info that he was willing to share. And he didn't appear to be lying, so he just doesn't know. He's somewhat legit. Alright, let's run over here and talk to our really horrible guy.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
How long has this been going on then?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up?
Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Sounds like a cover story to me.
Look, as detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges.
He loses his patience for explaining it.
I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular, Koiko picked apples.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Oh, so they grow apples in Grad?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow them down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Got great scenic vistas.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe.
Oh my god.
It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yekokata. So I got my encyclopedia knowledge, so I hope I can use this to lean on him and expose that he's lying. They don't grow apples there.
Yeah. Says who?
It's literally in the name, Zone of Ecological Catastrophe.
Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those Koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
You keep saying Koikos. What do you mean?
He means the people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk. Those degenerates from Grad.
Okay, but why the word Koiko?
'Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovich someone. Low self-esteem, those guys have. Mind you, they look Occidental, but they're not really like us.
So it's an ethnic slur.
Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise?
So, can I see the apples?
Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
He looks at you with a strange glint in his eyes.
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain unaccountable.
All right, so maybe they don't even know what they're hauling because this guy's too dumb. That makes sense. You don't want to tell the guy he's a liability. Then you said something about the rights and privileges of lorrymen.
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privileges.
Hold on, what's a carter?
Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines.
And that's a privilege.
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious.
So you're in the Carter's Guild.
Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they try to replace us, they'll regret it. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter.
Yeah, that's right. Generations. I mean, I'm pro organized labor, but this guy's just going to get left behind. I mean, he's already socially behind by centuries, it appears, but he is not providing a service that seems that irreplaceable. You're a lorryman. What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Yeah, that's right. His body's a temple. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
I see.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
So drugs, in this guy's mind, are racial economic sabotage.
Perhaps it's good to agree to get him talking.
Ah, look, I won a challenging rhetoric roll. Okay, Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep the poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
He eyes you wearily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then, damn, it didn't work. You should have
Oh,
signaled you're a nationalist.
he would have
before.
helped me, but I didn't.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh man, he does know stuff. I just didn't do it in the right order. I should have buttered him up a little bit. I blew it. Then what are you still hanging around here for?
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking on at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
Oh my god. That's bad. Right?
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Ah, that's right. I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it.
Oh my god.
Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
So he just got fired and left his... He got robbed, and now he just left his truck here.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
Good question. Logic. See, this is why I have logic ranked so highly, so I can sniff out this guy's BS. If you were all in the whirling, how do you know it was Kips who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who is he talking about? Yeah, exactly. Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Yeah,
Looks like I offended your partner there.
you did.
Too bad. Sealing's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves.
He's not talking about the pawn shop guy, is he?
His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I don't believe this guy at all.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealing himself has to say.
Yep, we'll pay him a visit then.
Guess so.
Alright, this guy's completely garbage, full of garbage. Let me just quickly see how much money I have if I sell everything. And by sell everything, I mean just recycle my bottles and cans.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle.
Well, I
You're
got-
a richer man now.
Yeah, I got 70 real, so I'm only about, or 0.7 real. I got 70 cents. I'm only about 4 real short now. That's okay. We're almost done on the 15th Indo tribe. So that's good. Let's get through here. We're going for it. Alright, so I think the best way for me to take this on is to just go look for this dude near the canal. And I didn't see anybody. The only thing I saw down here was the... Oh, maybe it's this guy. Oh yeah. God, did I miss this guy before? Was he always been here?
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
Nice.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Uh-huh. The vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun.
That's not good.
Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
That's hilarious. So, they don't protect against UV. They make it worse.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
I'm going to try to find some interesting sunglasses in the box. Yes. Ah. I see. A pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says Sub-Insulindic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand-carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
For the first time, the street vendor's voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses.
This
Try
is
them
how
on.
a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster.
Nice.
Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue.
That's good. I like being a sea monster.
Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello, so deep.
Thank you. The street vendor has picked up his pace again as you observe the world through deep sea-tinted
They
lenses.
can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
I did. Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Let's see. So they would give me -1 perception and +1 inland empire. That's funny. So I will leave for now. I'm not going to buy anything. I can't afford to stay anywhere. So he sells clothes. That's cool. And other items. But let's talk to him first.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin.
Mm-hmm.
The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Okay, this is our guy.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
Uh-huh.
You're very cool.
Ah.
Bang, 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 bang.
He makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few bullets into the air. Whether I'm cool or not is unimportant, but I am very cool. I have police questions for you.
You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead.
Let's see if I can persuade him to give me some
Start with a
money.
little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Yeah, I do need some money. I can't afford to stay in my hotel. Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
He's intrigued. It's an investment in me, a highly experimental human being. My risk-reward ratio is insane. I'm a policeman. It's an investment in good relations with the RCM. A guy told me I need money to live, otherwise it's game over, and I don't want to die. I'm going with this one.
I guess it can't be any riskier than speculating in exotic derivatives.
Nope.
How much are we talking about here?
We're talking about 10 real.
10 real is a bargain for
Yes.
that kind of investment.
I got money.
You got it, my man.
Where are you from, silly?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
You're from the Apricot Suzerainty, right?
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say that you're from Seaguy.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism, but the Apricot Suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left.
He's like, thanks for apologizing for colonialism. Ouch. You're welcome. I do try to be supportive of other people and cultures. Right, but it's only an S-hole because of Revachol, right? I don't know why I'm talking about this. It's some kind of mind reaction.
If you say so, officer. I don't worry too much about politics. I'm an entrepreneur, you know. Whatever's good for business is good for me.
Okay, so what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives.
I see.
Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
What is he talking about now? We are looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But
Yeah.
I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
I see.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
That's right. But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's
Right.
a hater.
He is a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot to tell me.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Stop squirming. What do you know about the operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
Uh-huh.
And what crowd is that?
Yeah.
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
Uh-huh.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
It wasn't some crowd. You know who they are. Tell me now, or you're wasting my time. Tell me who the F is transporting the drugs. Okay. If you don't know, then I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff.
Shush, please.
Yeah.
There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
If you don't want to get into this mess, raise your voice. You have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay?
Ah,
The drivers call her the lady driver.
the lady
You're
driver.
better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
I'm going to bet you dimes to donuts that this lady driver who's doing the drug trade also purchased my police gun from the pawn shop. Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out? Strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
You told me.
Could be. She was strange.
She was strange. She didn't really say anything.
He's not ruling her out.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Oh, I know you do.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Alright, you have been very helpful, and you gave me 10 real. You are the man. We're cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
We deserve it. I'll look around, thanks. Alright, perfect. So now we know new information, which is, I've got the money to stay. I gotta talk to the smoker at 2100, and I need to close up the water lock on Wednesday, but today is Tuesday, so we gotta do that tomorrow. I gotta find the working class husband, and I gotta find the lady driver. Alright, let's do that. I know we talked to some... We did find the lady driver before, but she's kind of like up and around. So let's go get her. We got a sting operation here, lady driver. No, I don't think you can actually get to her this way. You have to actually go all the way around, if I'm remembering right. It wasn't him, you jerk. He was about to tell me the truth, too. And then I blew it. Wonder if I can say anything new to this big, strong guy, ever. Anyway, Alright, here she is. It could be her.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask you
No
some
response.
questions.
Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
You're getting 2 snaps.
Where am I? Who are you?
Pale driver, like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
I was actually hoping you could tell me that.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
What's so bad about the 50s?
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
I see. Where
Back
else
in
would you
Mecca,
be?
During the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero.
Uh-huh.
Until you came along, that is.
Who's Gabriel Bergero?
This is Gabriel Buendero.
She shows you a photograph in the lavish amber frame. Take a
A
look.
strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
What
He
a
was
jaw.
the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
She leans up. She leans back, savoring the world she's conjured
In
up.
all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Wow, rhetoric doing a good job here. It's just a narrative about her past that she's constructed and romanticized. So I take it you were in Mesk when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone? She nods as though her meaning was perfectly clear. Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not?
Okay. Touche, I guess?
They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
They're coming for this. Who's they?
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Wow, you're going to be waiting a long time for that. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow and she appears to take your measure.
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Meth, it was a golden age.
I don't think I was alive during the revolution.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Oh wow, they're going on the far right, huh? Not the ultra liberal. They're favoring the crown, is that right? I have some other questions for you.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the
There's
dashboard.
something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Ah, Inland Empire coming up large. What you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, yeah, I guess so. What are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
What if it's
Then
contraband?
it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Okay.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos's bad hand, strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
That's a lot of strangling. I mean... I don't even understand, like, people never suspected this guy? That it took the police 300 before they caught this guy? Or was it all at one time? You know, like, he had anyway. I don't really understand this whole Boydero thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
Okay.
The Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Mclint,
Cowboy.
the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
I like that. Okay. What's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero.
Ah,
He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
cool. So maybe this can be the song I sing at karaoke. I'm guessing that doesn't happen?
Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
Okay.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
Yeah. I want it to be this one, but it's too romantic. I see where this is going.
So the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws
Oh,
her body
whoa.
in the Maigret.
What's with
Then
strangling?
he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's not where I thought that was
You
going.
have to understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
Wow. So 301 stranglings have come up in conversation with this lady. She's got a good aura, doesn't she? And smoke just billowing from her mouth, or is that her hair? I don't know. Show me the soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
It's important for police business, ma'am.
I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
Nope.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one, please.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There is no aberration in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
All right, she was not at the hanging.
Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro. which happened 500 years ago.
Wait, do you mean it was the coronation of Frank Ungaro?
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. He was no longer descending the stairs in Ryle. The crowd had gone silent. Perhaps it was another Herife who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or perhaps it was one of the others in this carnival. I don't remember.
So she was in another daydream and somebody woke her up.
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
She's not the odd soul. These are not the boots that made the
I
prince.
could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
Okay, then.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals.
Alright, are you the lady driver?
You just call me a lady, Herife.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So if you're not the driver everyone's terrified of?
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Alright, so Drama is saying it's not her. And it doesn't seem like it is her. This lady is odd, but why are you scary to the people who used to know
Because
you?
they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
Wow. That is not what I expected you to say. That's deep. You said long haul, that's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
Ah, that track.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Then who's the female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
I mean, that's, I guess, true. That's all I need to know,
We'll see.
thanks. Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
Sure.
So he doesn't think she's the lady driver.
No, he doesn't.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Why's that, Lieutenant?
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything.
I
He
see.
doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that.
I see. Should you drive a lorry if you get like that?
Don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. I drive routes no one else will.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
The song that you just sang me? She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind
The
submerge.
Transcatalia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
I'm something of an expert on blacking out. You should take better care of yourself.
You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
You're so welcome.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Aw.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about
What
drugs.
do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
I see.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
Where could I get my hands on an experience like that?
If you don't know,
Oh,
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
No, I'm not going to go down that path. What is it you're hauling?
Low man, what of it?
Oh boy. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
You said earlier you don't know what cargo you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiris to Grad on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiris to Grad, Lowman?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously.
If you had to guess, who do you think's smuggling drugs around
Easy.
here?
He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
I can't remember if is she talking about the tattoo man, or is she talking about Manana?
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
I didn't ask you about diamonds. I don't care about
Diamonds are
that.
good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Just put diamonds all over myself. I would. I just can't afford very much right now. So if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still
Where do
here?
you want me to go? This isn't so bad.
She
I
likes
can
it.
listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the filters of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree.
Is it?
Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I see.
I think we're done here, no?
Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Meski.
Her voice trails off.
The 15th Indo tribe.
Ooh, I completed my thought. What does this do for me?
Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them.
Huh.
This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule in Celinda. The rest of the kids are dead now.
Oh
Car
my.
accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain.
Wow. So it was just 8 kids from North Jamrock and Farborough, and now all of them are dead except me. Now this actually gives me 10 cents for every green orb clicked. I assume that's the green orb that spins around my head. And my learning cap for savoir-faire has gone up to 6. So this is really good because it helps me just maybe make money. So terrific. Oh, and I also have leveled up, it appears. Now the question, I kind of want to just maximize logic, but I also want to open up new thoughts. But let's finish this up and see if anything happens if we put it all the way to 11. I don't know, except changes in clothes. Okay, we did it. So we got a skill all the way up to 11. And it doesn't seem to have done anything beyond just be our penultimate skill, but now it's maxed. And so we could boost some of these other skills or internalize some more thoughts with our next level. Nothing gets by me in terms of logic anymore, so that's pretty exciting. Alright, so it's not that lady, so there's some other lady driver. Maybe I should ask the big guy, the racist guy, about the lady driver. Or, gee. Investigate. Oh, there's money on the ground. Get it. Whoa, there's a bunch of money on the ground. Yes.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Look in the
The
window.
windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cap.
Alright, now I've already looked in there. Okay. So the lady is, like, missing in action, so maybe I can talk to people about her. Do you know anything?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
You don't have any tips on how to punch a guy out, do you? Say a really big race theorist guarding a button?
Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
I
He
see.
might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
I see. I want to get into
Have
the
fun.
harbor too.
Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
I'm interviewing people about a murder.
I know nothing about a murder.
His reply is snappy and terse. Yes, you
The
do.
mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Why so tense?
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
Yes, he's tense.
Yes, you are.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Sure, why not?
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Let us work!
What's a
When
strike?
a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
What do the strikers
Beats
want?
me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we
Have the right to work!
There's something
Wow.
odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting? What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You're wearing new
He
clothes?
ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air.
Yeah, his
The
outfit
clothes
is
are
odd.
obviously not his.
Yeah, where's your clothes?
Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Alright, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Routine, part of the investigation.
Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
No, this guy is... He's been hired by somebody to take a part in this.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
A bouncer? Where? I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe it's one I know.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't remember things well.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
He's losing interest in talking with me. Oh boy, that's not going anywhere,
What's it
is
to
it?
you?
I thought you looked familiar for a second.
No. Don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people.
You did, huh?
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting.
Maybe that's why you
Worked
seem
at
familiar.
Territorial. Ring a bell?
Yeah, I think. Never heard of it. Are you lying?
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
Oh boy, he's angry. Huh. Here's a green orb. Let's see if I get money for clicking on this. It says GRIH. Alright, well, maybe that wasn't the right kind of green orb. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about with these green orbs. Maybe Menya... Oh, there's a blue orb. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. Okay, so I could go lose to Measurehead in a fight. That sounds like a good plan. I could also talk to Manana a little bit more. And I could talk to the racist lorry guy again about the female driver. We got to get to the bottom of this, right?